Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Fitness in Focus. And before we get started with this episode, I really want to thank you all for listening to Fitness in Focus about 2000 times in just a span of 3 months. I hope that I have been able to add value to your lives. I've been able to provide you with some valuable informations about fitness, about how workout works. I really hope that I have made some difference in your lives. So thank you all for listening to Fitness in Focus. So guys, moving forward, the topic of today's episode is going to be different types of diets that are trending on the internet. I've heard about a lot of them, but I'm going to talk about three main types of diet. The first one is intermittent fasting. Then the second one is the ketogenic diet, and the third one is vegan diet. Okay, so I'm only going to stick to the specifics about how it helps in weight loss and if it's good for muscle gain as well or not. Okay, and I'm not going to talk about the ethical reasons of it. Okay, I'm just going to stick to the specifics. So the first most popular kind of diet that we're going to talk about is intermittent fasting. So what intermittent fasting means is that you get to eat for only 8 to 10 hours in a day and fast for the remaining 14 to 16 hours. Okay, so it restricts your eating habit only to 1/3 of the day. Okay, and for the remaining 2/3 you're just fasting. So it should not be called a diet but rather an eating pattern. Okay, because a diet involves you to restrict some of the food that you eat, and it advises you some food to eat. But intermittent fasting doesn't works like that. Okay, it just restricts your timing and does not restricts any kind of food, okay, that you can eat or cannot eat in a day. So moving on, there is not just one type of intermittent fasting, but there are three that falls under this umbrella of intermittent fasting. Okay, the first one is the most popular 16-8 method, where you can eat for only 8 hours in a day and fast for the remaining 16 hours. You can start by skipping your breakfast, or you can end your day by with an early dinner. Okay, you can also so 16 hours of fasting doesn't mean that you cannot even have water. You can obviously have water, or alternatively you can also choose some non-carbs beverages like lime water, green tea to have during those fasting hours. The next kind of intermittent fasting on this list is eat stop eat, where you don't restrict yourself into eating only for 8 to 10 hours, but you have to fast for 2 days, for 2 days in a week. Okay, so this is slightly an advanced level of the 8 of the regular 8 16/8 method of intermittent fasting. Now moving on to the third kind of intermittent fasting, it's called 5:2. Okay, so what happens is that you can have only 500 to 600 calories for 2 consecutive days in a week, and then you can have your normal food throughout the week. Okay, so these are the three types of intermittent fasting. So moving on, guys, intermittent fasting has great health benefits, and this is the reason why it has been adopted into multiple religions across ages, since and it's actually centuries old. Okay, I cannot think of a religion that has not adopted the way of intermittent fasting in its culture and its tradition. There's a kind of intermittent fasting in Buddhism, Jainism, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, you name it, and there is intermittent fasting in it. So, my dear Gen Zs, if you think that intermittent fasting is something that has just seeded, I'm really sorry, but it hasn't. Your grandfather, your mom and dad, they have been practicing since a very long time. So, as I said, there are several benefits of intermittent fasting, and some of the proven ones are that intermittent fasting actually boosts your level of HGH, the growth hormone in your body, and because of it, the rate of fat loss increases. Okay, so you start losing weight faster because of the HGH. It also detoxifies your body, so it removes the toxins from your bloodstream, and that makes you look younger, that makes you look lighter. Okay, it also improves your skin tone. Okay, so a lot of benefits. So what happens is your cell digests and removes old dysfunctional proteins that have built up inside them. So naturally, the protein has been replaced and your body will look younger, your skin tone will improve. So why does this exactly happens? The answer is very simple. Intermittent fasting restricts you to eat only during certain hours in a day. Okay, so so naturally, what happens is the calories that you're consuming in a day will be less from your regular 2000 calories that you consume in a day. And therefore there are many researches available that supports the fact that intermittent fasting is a great way for weight loss, and it really helps you to catalyze if you're in a journey of losing weight. So there are no pros without some cons of anything, be it anything, right? So what do I tell you people? That always consult a nutritionist or a dietitian, okay, or someone experienced in this field before you adopt a certain diet. You must always have a goal. Why are you doing this? Why are you getting into this type of diet? Okay, there should be some reason behind it. There should be a goal that you're trying to achieve. Okay, so what happens is when you're fasting for, let's say, 14 to 16 hours a day, you're not just restricting calories, you're also restricting protein. Okay, your protein intake in a day, which is very essential for muscle gain. So if it's only the weight that you're trying to lose, and losing a bit of muscle mass in the process doesn't bother you, okay, I say that it's a good option. But if you're trying to build a muscle mass, then intermittent fasting won't do much of a good for you. Why? Because protein is one of the most important thing, the most important thing when it comes to building muscle mass, and you're restricting it by fasting for 14 to 16 hours in a day. In order to recover your muscles and to develop more muscle mass, your body needs protein spike at several times of a day. Okay, and since you're fasting for 14 to 16 hours, okay, that muscle spike won't happen in that 14 to 16 hours. That is why most of the pro bodybuilders and athletes, okay, they go for a balanced diet 4 to 5 times, 6 times a day when they are trying to increase their muscle mass. One more thing is your body also requires energy when you're sleeping. Okay, so let's say you have eaten and you have had an early dinner about 6 p.m. and then you're going to sleep at about, let's say, 11 p.m. in the night. Okay, so for that 5 hours you haven't eaten anything, you have just consumed water, you have definitely hydrated yourself. Okay, but the food that you have eaten has already been digested and the energy has been released. So what happens is your body will start uh, breaking down the protein in it, okay, to release that required amount of energy. Though the amount of energy required at that time is very less, but still it will tear your muscles, it will use the protein to release energy. Therefore, concluding my take on intermittent fasting, it's great if your goal is only weight loss and a bit of muscle loss in the process doesn't bother you. But if you're like me and you want to gain muscle mass at all times in the year, okay, then intermittent fasting is not much of an help for you. I'll tell you my experience. Okay, so we do fast for about 30 days in a year during the months of Ramzan. So what happens after 30 days is, that I obviously look great. Okay, I feel great because I've been fasting for 30 days, 12 to 14 hours in a day. Okay, so I look great, I feel great, I feel light. But what also happens in that 30 days is that I end up losing a lot of muscle mass. Okay, but that is there, that comes with the package. Okay, so if it doesn't bothers you that much, you can definitely go for intermittent fasting. Now, moving on to the next most popular kind of diet on the internet, and I know this will make your ears pop out. It's called the ketogenic diet, the one kind of diet that everybody wants to follow, but nobody exactly knows that what it actually does to your body and how it works. Just because your favorite celebrity or influencer has told you that a keto diet works, you want to get on a keto. Okay, but here is the most important thing. Ketogenic diet is uh, one of those diet where supervision and monitoring is very important. So listen this part very carefully. Ketogenic diet has lots of health benefits, but if it's not monitored and supervised properly, it could go sideways for you. So what exactly is the ketogenic diet? Ketogenic diet comes from the word keto. Keto means fat. And what ketogenic diet requires you to do in a day? Your particular meal at any time of the day should have about 60 to 70% of fat, 70 to 75% of fat, about 20 to 25% of protein, and only 5 to 10% of carbohydrates. Which means what? You can consume only 50 to 75 kilocalories of carbohydrates in a day, which is very less. Drastically, you have dropped down from regular 2000 calories. A person normally consumes about 2000 calories in a day. Okay, so you're dropping from 2000 calories to straight down to 50 to 75 calories. That's a big change, and a very drastic one, I tell you. So how does exactly eating fat initiates fat loss? That's what you're wondering. So when you drop the level of carbohydrate intake per day from your regular 2000 calories to 50 to 75 calories, what happens is uh, your body goes into a state of ketosis. Okay, where it's not getting its regular carbohydrates to break down and release energy from it. So what it does, it start breaking the ketones. Okay, the fat that is stored in the liver, okay, to produce energy. Now, generally our body prefers to break down the glucose to release energy, but since you have stopped eating enough carbohydrates, and glucose comes from carbohydrates, so body will switch to breaking down the ketones, the stored fat in the body, to provide energy, because it needs energy all the time. To lead to significant reduction in blood sugar level, insulin level. Now, like intermittent fasting, ketogenic diet has some variations too. Okay, and I'll talk about again three, because three is my favorite number, it seems. Yeah. So the first one is your standard ketogenic diet. Typically contains about 70, which says that typically your meal should contain about 70 to 75% fat, 20% protein, and about 5% of carbohydrates. The second one is called as the cyclical ketogenic diet. So what it does is it advises you to follow your regular ketogenic diet for 5 days a week, and for 2 days you do carb loading. Okay, you eat as much as carbs your body needs, because you have restricted your carbs. So this particular kind of type of ketogenic diet is followed by the pro bodybuilders. Okay, because they need carbs loading for them to for their body to make muscles, right? The third kind of diet in this list is the third kind of ketogenic diet in this list is the targeted ketogenic diet, where you consume carbs in a day only around your workout hours. So you can consume carbs before you're going for a workout, or you're consuming carbs after you're hitting your workout. Okay, so what happens is, if you're eating a good amount of carbohydrates, your performance in during the workout, it increases, it enhances. And if you're having enough carbohydrates, if you're taking too much of carbohydrates after your workout, what happens is your body is at a low glucose level. It requires some carbohydrates from where it can uh, you know uh, break down glucose and release energy. So your body, what it will do, your body will take up that carbohydrates into business as soon as it gets them, and it releases energy from there. So your carbohydrate is not stored, it is used directly into the body. Entering the state of ketosis will have a lot of effect in your body. It will give you signs like bad breath is number one. Your breath will smell like trash. So my advice is, stop kissing at those times. Okay. And there are there are certain tests to affirm that you have attained the state of ketosis. Okay, you can go for a, blood test, okay, that will affirm that you have attained the level of ketosis. Even practicing intermittent fasting will help you to reach there faster. Once you have attained the level of ketosis, you'll see some changes in your body, like you'll feel the need to urinate regularly. Okay. You'll start feeling thirsty a lot. Okay, there will be dry mouth. Okay, your throat will dry up quickly. So these are the few symptoms that you'll see in your body, uh, which shouldn't bother you that much, correct? Your body will also experience some changes which will bother you, like many people have been noticed to uh, hallucinate, experience nausea, vomiting at those times, because what happened is your body, your glucose level has dropped to a very low level. Okay, so because of this, your mind will start hallucinating. You may also feel nausea, vomiting at several times of the day. So this is why I told you that it should be monitored properly, again, and supervised properly from a professional nutritionist or a dietitian. This will happen because you have given up on carbs, and your body loves carbohydrates. It loves to break down the glucose for energy. So your body will respond to it in its own ways. But this will happen for certain time, for some time, and then, like all breakups, your body will recover from it. Talking about the real deal. So ketogenic diet is great when it comes to weight loss. It's not too good if you're trying to build muscle. The reason being that you have restricted the protein intake along with carbohydrates as well, remember. So protein is very important. Again, protein is also very important along with the carbohydrates. You think protein is the only important thing to build muscle? No, carbohydrates is also very important, and here I'll tell you why. Carbohydrates is actually very crucial for muscle building, because carbohydrates initiates the development of insulin. Insulin is an anabolic hormone, okay, which helps in protein synthesis. Okay, and your body needs protein. Also, insulin helps drive those amino acids into your muscles. In all the ways, carbohydrates actually supports muscle building. It's not like your body won't achieve any muscle growth. If you're on a ketogenic diet, your body will attain some muscle growth, okay, on the later parts of your ketogenic diet journey, but not initially. Okay, so you'll have to wait some time. Also, when you attain that muscle, there is no drastically increase in your muscle mass, okay, but rather an optimal increase. Okay, and your body looks very flat. So if you see your regular celebrities, fitness influencers whom you have known, they have been following the ketogenic diet, you will see their body looks very flat. Okay, so this is the reason why. Concluding my take on ketogenic diet, that it's great for weight loss, and you can attain some muscle mass as well while on the ketogenic diet, but it has to be supervised properly, because it takes certain times to achieve ketosis, and I have told you how. Okay, but if you're looking for a long for a good muscle gain, and if you're looking to uh, and if you're looking for a muscle mass kind of a diet, then ketogenic diet won't help you much. Though the cyclic ketogenic diet, where you uh, load carbs for twice for 2 days in a week, has some health benefits and has some benefits for muscle mass, and the pro bodybuilders have been seen to practice them. Okay, but there are no proper studies related to it, so I would not put my bet on it. I have also adopted ketogenic diet in my 12 years of fitness journey. Once I didn't get much of a result, okay, but if I tell you about my friend, okay, she got really good results when she was on a ketogenic diet. So you know it's like that, there are not much studies related to it. Okay, so I wouldn't place my bet on it if I am trying to gain muscle mass. That's my experience. Now, time for the third kind of diet in this category is the vegan diet. Now, Vegan diet is more of a life choice, I would say, because people switch to. I've seen people switching to being vegan because out of ethics. Okay, mostly out of ethics. But I would be lying if I say that being vegan doesn't has its health benefits. Okay, so without talking about the ethical reasons of or ethical advantages or superiority of being a vegan, okay, I would strictly talk about the health aspect of it, and how does it helps in losing weight and building muscle mass, if it helps in building muscle mass or not. Now, vegan diet mainly consists of food derived from plant sources and not animal sources. So now, food from plant sources like lentils, soy, fruits have less carbohydrates, okay, and more fiber. So more fiber makes you feel fuller all the time, and it's definitely great for weight loss because you're feeling fuller, so you don't have the urge to have something all the time. Therefore, naturally, what happens is you're switching to a low carb but high fiber kind of diet, which is very good for weight loss. It also lowers the risk of diabetes and improves gut health, and a lot of things. Now I have heard this that, but veganism doesn't mean that you have to eat gluten free food, or that you have to eat raw food, okay, or that you have to only eat salad, okay, but all these kind of practices can go well along with being veganism. So, as I said, limiting the intake of saturated fat that comes from meat and animal sources, okay, it does certainly packs health benefits and is great for weight loss. But do you really have to do so if your goal is only weight loss? Certainly not. Now, let's talk about some cons of adopting veganism. Okay, firstly, when you have adopted the vegan kind of diet, you are restricting your body to a lot of minerals like protein, vitamin B12, calcium, vitamin D, zinc, etc., etc. And these are very important minerals when it comes to muscle building. Okay, now a vegan might say that soy is a very good source of protein. It's equivalent to animal-based protein, but it's not. There are tons and tons of studies. If you go on the internet right now and search for it, okay, there are tons of studies that says that plant animal based protein are more effective in building muscle and repairing the muscle, and also it's very nutrient rich. Okay, like you'll get good amount of vitamin B12 from it, hem iron from it, and other nutritions like that. And last of it, vegan diet is not at all cheap. So I don't have anything against the vegans or the kind of diet. I really love the fact that you get to eat plant based protein, and there are lots and lots of health benefits for it. But if you're choosing this particular kind of diet for building muscle, you'll have to, it will definitely dig a hole in your pocket, because plant based proteins are not cheap. They are very expensive. So in fact, keto diet is expensive too. Okay, so now that I've told you the benefits of each of these three diets, intermittent fasting, keto diet, and veganism, it is quite evident that if your goal is to build muscle mass, okay, then these are not very favorable kind of diet. So what exactly, how so what kind of diet is exactly good for you if you're trying to build muscle mass, and if you're trying to build muscles like these yeah. So I'll tell you what kind of diet you should follow. You should follow what most pro bodybuilders and athletes follow, is that you should have 5 to 6 uh, protein rich meals in a day, okay, at different intervals. That's what you need when you're trying to build good muscle mass. A good diet has about 60 to 65%, 70% of protein, about 20 to 30% of carbs, and 5 to 10% of fat. Okay, this kind of diet has been tested, has been in practice, uh, and is the most effective diet when it comes to gaining muscle mass. Sure, if you want to lose weight faster, if your goal is to just to lose weight, okay, and losing a bit of muscle mass here and there doesn't bothers you, and you're rich, you can afford expensive food products like avocados, and keto diet is, as I told you, is also not very cheap. Okay, then you can definitely go for your keto diet or intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is not very expensive, okay, because I told you it's not a diet, it's rather an eating pattern. So if you want to lose weight faster, you can go for intermittent fasting, you can go for um, a keto diet, you can go being a vegan. But if your goal is also to develop certain muscle mass, okay, a good muscle mass, then I would say that stick to your regular 5 to 6 times protein rich meals in a day. So, as I told you, pick your goals first. Understand what you want to do, where do you want to reach, and then, as per your schedule, as per your lifestyle, you can adopt any of these three, or your regular, 4 to 5 meals in a day kind of a diet. But consult a dietitian, consult a nutritionist whenever you're going to adopt a certain kind of diet, because every eating pattern or health or diet has its pros and cons, and you should know both of them. Okay, that's it for today. Please follow this channel on Spotify, on YouTube. We are there on JioSaavn, we are there on Prime Music, we are on iTunes as well. Okay, share this video with your friends. Tell me what you like about it, what you don't like about it, so that I can improve in my next video. Okay, also it would inspire me to make more videos. uh, follow our page on Instagram. I've been trying to make some good Instagram content that might help you, in workout, that might help you in diet. Okay, uh, and you can directly mail me at fitnessinfocuspodcast@gmail.com. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you guys for having me. I'll meet you guys in the next episode. Till then, stay fit, stay healthy, and keep grinding.